Today is Sunday in Australia, and of course I am in my shop doing my Sunday chat. Now sometimes I do it every second week, but because we've missed out in a few weeks, I thought, look, let's just do a Sunday chat because it is Christmas in 8 days time. Santa will be coming to everybody's house, well, in Australia anyway, and then you guys are a day after if you're in the US, Canada, and so on. So anyway, today I thought, look, I'm actually just going to talk about a few things, about some goals. Also, I'm going to give you a few stats as well, and hopefully that helps everybody because if you have a Shopify account, you can actually look at your stats in records. So I think it's, no, reports, sorry. So you can go into reports and look at the stats. But anyway, I thought, obviously, I've got some figures down in front of me, which are here. I always write down lots of things so that I can tell you lots of things that I'm up to, of course, and I can see a number of people loading on now. So hello everybody, and I hope you're doing amazing. It is super hot in Australia, and we have had a cyclone in Queensland, but it wasn't as bad as thought, so that's very good anyway. So now, like I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about goal setting, and because we all need this. I mean, let's be honest, it's it's a hard gig running your own business. It's really hard. You need to wear so many hats, so to speak. You need to do your own taxes, get all your paperwork up to date, sell things, do your website, so many things until you can afford extras. So now for goals, let's talk about, like I said, a few things. Number one, obviously, each year you want to make more money each year, or you want your business to do a little bit better each year, or at least be stable. You don't want to go down, in revenue. So I always say each year you kind of want to go up about 10%. 20% is pretty normal, but 10% I always say is more realistic for a business, especially in today's times. So that's one thing you can do. If you, for instance, make $5,000 this year, next year you want to say, okay, maybe I want to make 10% more than that, and then try and work out, if you're not doing that, why not? Is it your product? Is it the way you're doing things? Is it just not working the way you want? Maybe you need to tweak a few things or change the way you're actually doing things. That's really important to think about that. Set yourself some goals, everyone, and be realistic. There's no good me saying I want to be a millionaire next year, because the chance of that happening is very, very slim. I'd say less than 0.1%. But, look, set goals. It might be, that you're going to do 10 markets. It might be that you're going to make $10,000 next year rather than $7,000 that you've made this year. It might be that, you plan on being more productive. You might want to say, well, I'm going to join YouTube, or I'm going to do more reels on Insta. That may be something like, set those little goals, because that's what I did. And it really does help, because at the start, I was like, I'm going to sell to everyone. I'm going to make heaps of money. I'm going to do what I love, and I'm never going to work for a boss again. That was my goal. Well, you soon learn that the selling bit is the hardest bit. Making products and doing all of that bit, if you love it, it's not so hard because you really enjoy doing it, and it's like a hobby. But then to sell that product is much, much harder, because you need to be seen and found. So they're sort of like goals are not just monetary goals. They might be, you want, like I said, you want to get a website up and going, or you maybe you want to say, well, I want to get off Etsy and I want a real, standard website rather than just using their platform. Or, maybe you want to be on Fair and sell wholesale. So many goals to set. For me, having a pink shop was a big thing for me. So, and this sounds really silly. I know you're going to laugh, but I thought to myself, even if I have no customers, to me, having my own little shop, my own little pink space, to me, that was success. But somebody else may say, well, unless you get 30 customers a day, it's not success. But in the town that I live in, it's, it's a slower town. It's not a bigger town. So you're never going to make, $5,000 every day. It just won't happen here. Whereas if you're in another area or another country, that may happen. Australia is much more slow paced. So You know, you got to be realistic. And also, I always think you got to be a bit thankful. Like, sometimes I look at where I am and I think it's not exactly where I want to be, but then I think so many people would love to be in my position and, you know, have lots of subscribers and followers and make money on different platforms. I'm sure lots of people would think, oh, I would love to get there. And I know that feeling because I used to watch other YouTubers and I used to think the same. Oh, if only I could just earn quarter of what they earn, it would really help me and my goals and, you know, to keep going with the business that I want to do. So, but, you know, just be thankful for those little things. Even a $10 sale, to me, it's like, well, that $10 sale may turn into hundreds of more sales from that person. They may love your stuff and come back. And can I tell you, sometimes it's not just about the product, it's about you personally. A lot of people have said to me that they have followed me because they resonate with just a mum from the suburbs trying to do her thing. So that's something that's super important. Now, I did promise to give you the figures, and I will definitely give you those. And I'm sorry I'm looking down, but I have to look at all the figures so I can tell you. So now I do have a Shopify site. Now, when I first started, I had like the free Shopify version. Like, when I say free, it's not free, like you pay per month, but there is like a free theme. So I use the free theme. Now I don't. Now I actually pay for the theme. So it's a one-off payment. I think it cost me $550 Australian, and I think that might have been $350 US money. So, but you pay once and then you have the theme. There's so much more you can do with the theme. You can have countdowns, you can have running things on the screen, you can have sales. There's just so many things that you can do. Even your pages, you can add extra things on the pages that you can't add with the other theme. So that was a really good thing for me. So I literally went from having, I would say about 150 people a month on my site with the old one, to now over 500 people hit my site every month. Now, to some businesses, that may not be enough. That may be a really small amount. But for me, I was happy with that. That was one of my goals, to each month see if 500 people hit the site. Now, I will tell you where those people come from as well, because I can look in the records and see all those statistics as well. And you do need to add in what your Shopify site costs. Like for me, for this, because I have two Shopify, so this one is cheaper than my other one. This Shopify one cost me about $55 a month. And of course, like I said, I paid for the theme and everything else. So, and then of course you do pay sometimes for other products as well. Oh, that's okay, Dorothy. I don't mind. And I hope this just helps, lovely. I hope it helps other people kind of going, okay, where can I change? Or if things aren't working, you know, maybe this will give you a little bit of an idea of where to go. And I definitely don't know everything. I learn things all the time. Every day I've learned something new. So, you know, it's very interesting, isn't it? So, like I said, and now, like I said, about 500 or more a month, just depends on, but you know, with that, a lot of people do come from YouTube, and I'll talk about YouTube, a few statistics that I'll tell you as well as we get along. So now, to do this business and to be successful, this is what I personally think you need to do. Number one, you need to love what you do. I can't pretend. If I pretended to love it, I would soon get sick of it, and I've been doing this for a number of years now. So, you know, you really have to like it. And this started as a hobby I liked into a business. I never thought it'd be a business. So that's something anyway. Number two, have the goals that I said. You know, you always need to have goals. Oh, thank you, Dorothy. Oh, so you're in Canada. Oh, that's nice. Well, actually, we do have a lady coming into my conference that's flying in from Canada, which is lovely. Marie from Humble Bee and Me. She is coming in, so that's super exciting. Yeah, and I really do try and help, because when I first started, there were some great videos, but a lot of people didn't talk about statistics and when things weren't going right. That, you know, I really would have loved to see videos of people saying, this is what I made, this is what I didn't make, and now I need to change this to make that. So that would have been handy. And anyway, I think I think too, because I'm not making tens of thousands of dollars on YouTube, I think that actually does help people see that it can be realistic. And you just got to go with what happens, everyone. So like I said, number 2 is having your goals. Number 3, be proactive. I mean, that's a big one, everyone. I get so many people reach out to me and they say, look, I really want to do what you do. I want to do YouTube and Reels. I'm thinking that you're right, and maybe that's a way of making money. But then they say to me, well, I don't know how to do social media. I don't know how to do YouTube. Or they'll say, I'm too old, I'm uneducated. I hear all of those things, and I totally understand those things. I really do. But the thing is, you need to teach yourself, and you can go on YouTube and learn anything. That's how I taught myself to take photos. I taught myself even how to use YouTube on YouTube, how to set up a channel on YouTube. So there's so many things. Just Google it on YouTube, just write it in the search bar, and you can do it. So to be proactive, you can't say, well, I can't just do it, because you just need to teach yourself. And if you can't, reach out to somebody and say, hey, do you think you could teach me? There's a lot of people that don't mind. You can join a lot of Patreon groups and they will go into it a lot more further. And on a lot of Patreon groups, they have, like I have one where it's a one-on-one and I actually teach people. So, for instance, I have one where it's like $100 a month, and that's AU, and then I actually teach people. So, and it's a one-on-one. We do some Zooms per month to teach them different things. So that's the thing. There's a lot of people that do things like that as well. So that can be really, really helpful if you don't know how to do things. But there's free things on YouTube. So I'd say look on YouTube first, and, try and see how you can do these things. So like I said, be proactive, whatever that means to you. That might be meaning get some business cards, put them in letterboxes, start to do reels. If you don't want to do videos like I do on YouTube, maybe you could do reels. You don't even need to show your face. Show how you're making products. People love seeing that, and they love it when you're a bit realistic. So that's something that you could definitely do as well. What was my other thing? Oh, that's right. One thing I wanted to say is, if you fall down and things are hard, just get back up. So many times I've had people say, oh, you can't do this. There's too many people making soap or candles. You won't make any money, and so on. And, and then I've made a boo-boo, or I've spent too much money on something. But you just learn. So you just got to dust yourself off and get back up. Honestly, my mum used to say to me, if you want to be a certain person, then you need to hang around with those certain persons. And it's true. Like, if you want to be positive, you need to be around positive people, because negative people will really bring you down, and then it will make you question whether you can actually do this or not. And you can do it. I mean, the only thing I'm going to say too is, if you had lots of money, you could do it faster. I always say that about me. I definitely did not have that money at the start. I had to work and put a little bit of my savings from my work each time that I bought anything. And then eventually it does pick up. Eventually it gets better and easier. But and during COVID, I think lots of people thought about a second business as well. So, that's the thing. You just got to try, everyone. I mean, if you don't try, you'll never know. And, number 5, the fear. Fear gets to people. People think, oh, well, I might embarrass myself. Oh, what happens if no one joins my channel? Don't worry if no one joins your channel, everyone. I mean, don't worry at all. A lovely friend of mine, Kat, she has actually just started her channel, and a big clap for her. She's an amazing lady. So she's gone through some tough times, and I hope people are going to follow her. I will actually put the links for her YouTube channel. She's a candle maker. She started doing a podcast, but so next year she'll do more and more. But she is really amazing. She actually had a little boy, and her little boy, I think he was about 19 months old, and was diagnosed with a cancer. You can all imagine how tough that would be. And as time goes on, she talks about that in her podcast, her first podcast. And as time went on, she really decided, she needed something for her as an outlet to cope. So, and sometimes just having, you know, making candles or making soap or doing something else gives you that, just that little bit of time for yourself. So anyway, I hope people will join her and, you know, do what things like I do. I always share all of these channels that I think are good because, you know, we all have tough times, and it actually makes people realize that we're just people on YouTube. We're just mums, dads, you know, a friend, you know, just a work friend, someone just having a channel and having a go. And so you just don't know. And some people I see probably never thought their channels would be as big as they've got. But, you know, anyway, that's just a little bit about that. So, like I said, I will, I think it's called The Candle Mama. I can't remember her exact YouTube thing. But like I said, I will definitely write it down. So once this loads up, I'll type in some links and check her out. She's really good. So now let's get into some statistics. So now I've had a look on my Shopify. Like I said, you can go into reports and it will tell you a little bit about how to do things. So number one, this is about how getting to the site. So how are people coming to your site? And, you know, you have to do some work to direct them there. So directing them can be like videos, links. So links in all of my YouTube, direct people. They go on those links. They have a look at my site. Doesn't mean they're going to buy something. But did you know that all the people going to your site, that actually helps Google to know maybe this is a good site. And then, you know, you will show up more in SEO. All of these things are really important. So don't worry about if people are buying. You want people to hit your site. If only 5 people hit your site every 3 months, Google looks at it that, well, this isn't a very good business. No one's going there. So that's the thing. It's really important to do things like that. So how people are getting there. Number one, the biggest one for me is YouTube. I definitely get a lot of people clicking on my links on YouTube and going to my website. Pinterest. Actually, YouTube is first. My social media is second. So the way that they're coming there, the second best way is through social media. So whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, all of those. But for me, the biggest one would be Instagram, definitely, because that's your visual platform. Number 3, direct. A lot, because I do lives and things like that, a lot of people will just type in my name, Nelson Soapery. They will find my website and then go in there. So that's how you get direct, or giving people the direct link. Number 4 is Pinterest. I only have a very small Pinterest account. I don't have that many followers, but I'm starting to add more on. So as you go along, and Pinterest takes a lot longer than any other social media, but it's great because people can look at your photos. And I haven't even looked at it for a few days, but I will look at it. And I'm a bit lazy on Pinterest. So that is one of my goals for 2024, to get better at doing Pinterest. And number 5 is the search engine. That's the last one. But because I give so many links, people often don't even need to search me. They can literally just go through all the different links that I leave on all the sites. And also I do have a Facebook group, so a lot of people click on links from that. So you can join that. It's a free Facebook group. And for anyone that didn't know, like, I do have Patreon, and I also have a free member on Patreon. So I don't post very often on the free, but it's usually at least once a week. So if you want to just see what Patreon's about before you join on a paid member, you can actually go over to there. My links should be in most of my videos and also be in the bio for Patreon. And like I said, you can go over there for free if you want to join as a free member. And I have a lot of free members over there. So that's something as well. I will actually do a bit of a Christmas Merry Christmas thing on Christmas Eve. I'll probably do that, and that will be on Patreon, which will be a bit sweet, won't it? I thought maybe I could do that every year, which will be really nice. And while we're on that for Christmas, we all know it's hard times. Please, if you can, anyone, you know, at your local shopping centre, if they're doing food drives and things like that, even if you can afford just 1 can of, you know, beans or 1 can of corn or something, just put them in there. Like each week I do try and donate a couple cans of food or a ham or something, because there are a lot of people that are really doing it tough. you know, and maybe if there's someone in your family that you know is doing it tough, maybe you could just give them a nice little basket of food a few days before Christmas or something like that. I do help some people in my family because you just never know. It could be extended family you don't see often, but everyone needs help sometimes, especially in these tough times. But that's just a little bit about Christmas. So because Christmas is exciting for all of us, but there are some people that don't celebrate Christmas because they literally don't have the money even for a nice lunch or dinner. So if you can, like I said, just support your local you know, shopping centre, or like our local one has a trolley, and then you can actually buy, you know, canned food or things like that, and then you can, or things that aren't so perishable, and then you can actually put them in there. So anyway, that's just a little bit on that. Now I'll tell you where people are coming from also from my site. The most common is the United States. I have a lot of people from the States follow me, followed by Canada would be second. The Netherlands would be third, and Australia would be fourth. Now, isn't that funny? Because I'm an Aussie, but, you know, Australians, we're all busy being outside, but I do have a lot of Aussies that do follow me, but, you know, obviously our country is much smaller than the other countries, so, you know, we have a lot less in population as well. So, and this goes on a population grab as well. So now I am going to give you some monetary figures, and I hope this helps, and I hope it shows people that I don't make a fortune like everyone probably thinks. But to give you an idea, on YouTube I usually make a year about $7,500 from my videos. And if you've seen that, I have, I think, 450 something videos. I have a lot of videos. At the start, I made absolutely no money. It takes years on YouTube, unless you're a known influencer, to really make money. But once you're on YouTube, it actually does help send people to your site and make money and things like that. So anyway, I hope that that kind of helps. For sales on my site, I generally make around the $20,000 in sales a year, which may not be a lot of money to a lot of other people, but to me, I'm happy with that. And on Patreon, I make around the $15,000 a year. So that will kind of give you a few figures. So that is around the $42,000 a year is what I actually make. So it's not a massive wage. That's Australian as well. But each year you do end up getting more and more money. It just takes a lot of time, friends. It really does. And I know that's really hard because a lot of us think, oh, I really want to give up my job, or I don't have a job and this could help. But you don't earn money straight away. It does take a long time before you actually earn money. So, and I'm giving these figures to you to try and help you, I guess, you know, sort of understand how it works, or it's not to big note myself or anything like that, because some people may think, oh gee, that's not very much money at all, but to me that's a lot of money. I am very happy with earning that amount of money, and as time goes on having my shop, then hopefully I'll earn more money in that. And actually, since my opening day, I think I have sold roughly around $800-900 in the week. So to me, that is really good. I was very excited with those figures. And, you know, that's the thing. Sometimes if you even have a shop, even if it's in your house and it's not a shop, but it's a room that looks like a shop, you have more opportunities to do videos. It's more aesthetically pleasing for people to watch. Nobody wants to watch me make something in an old garage. But you know, in a beautiful, lovely room, it's aesthetically pleasing, and we all like to see pretty things. So sometimes, you know, that's also, I think, a bit of a win-win if you can do something like that. So you don't need to convert your garage if you're like me, but there are other things that you can do. And while we're on here, I'll talk a little bit about that. So a few people have asked me, you know, can you actually do it? There's a few reasons why I could do what I've done. So on my street, we are on the main street. So we're on the absolute main street. My street leads straight into the actual street where all the main shops are, even though they're several minutes down the other end of the street. But at my end of the street, within the block here, on this street, there have been houses converted into doctor's surgeries, sports clinics, I can't think of what else, but you know, petrol stations. There's so many things on my street, so there's already a precedent been set. You know, so that's the thing, you know. But if I was in a small court, no, you could definitely not do what I've done. People would not be happy. So you know, and you know, I've kept it, I try and keep it very quiet. This is not going to be a shop of hundreds of people coming in and out. And I also have a circular driveway that can fit 4 or 5 cars. So, and we do have street parking. So all of those things do add up to something good. And actually on one of my videos, I think it's about to come out actually today, one of my other videos. It went to Patreon over 24 hours ago, and they get it first. So basically it's going to come back onto YouTube today, and on that I talk a little bit about that in it. So like I said, hopefully that does help. And I actually do give a link to a lovely lady. She has a video on YouTube, and she was in the US, and she converted her house into a cake shop. So it can be done. You just have to check your local area and Google it. I mean, there's so many things you can Google. You just Google, can I have a shop in my house? And you know, there are plenty of places that work out of their home. They might have an online store, but they work out of their home. So there's so many places, and I've bought things, you know, just like acrylics. I bought from houses. I've bought silicone molds, candle products. I mean, you name it, and they've had like a little shop in their house. So a lot of people do it. It just means you just need to do a little bit of homework to see whether you can actually convert that. And you know, for me as well, they don't need to come into my house, because this is a separate driveway to my normal house driveway. So that's the thing why you can do it as well. Hello, Chrissy, my lovely friend. Hi, my love. I hope you're doing super duper well. And Chrissy did buy something from me. She often buys my Barry's Daughter scent. And that is actually a signature scent to me that my dad and I designed. And it is a lovely scent. I have to make soap because I have one little bar of Barry's Daughter soap left. Very, very sad. That's all I have left. So I'll definitely be doing some more soap videos. And I did get the materials in to do, what am I making next? Some sugar scrubs and also some whip soap. So I have bought a video out before, but I have just refixed my whipped soap recipe, so I'll be bringing one of those out. So I will actually bring that out to you on YouTube. And on Patreon, I'll give you some percentages on there. So on YouTube, I usually just give you the recipe. Most of them you need to watch the video to get the recipe, and the PDF will be over on Patreon. And I've had a few people say to me, why don't I put the recipe in the links below? Now, I'm going to be really honest here and tell you, if you have a YouTube channel and people just go to the link and just, or not even the link, even if they just go and have a look and you've written it down below on the recipe, what actually happens is a lot of people don't watch your video, so you don't earn any money at all through that, and they just take the recipe and off they go. And it sounds horrible to say it like that, but that's why most YouTubers don't write it down, and you've got to watch the recipe to actually get it off the screen. That's why they do it that way, because then at least they're making money of you watching the video. And if everyone just got the recipe, they'd do the video and wouldn't make any money. So eventually they wouldn't do videos. But anyway, that's just a bit of the truth on why people do that. So but like I said, if you're on Patreon, you will definitely get the PDF and everything like that. And a big hands up to my lovely supporter, Samantha. She did suggest that to me. She did suggest doing a PDF instead of just typing it in on Patreon. So thank you, Samantha. I've definitely done that with the last few, and we'll keep going with the PDF, so that way everyone can print it out and keep it on a lovely PDF. And I do make it quite nice and aesthetically beautiful. I spend quite a bit of time doing that. And that's the thing, Patreon, we need to spend a lot of time doing all of those things to make money on that. So it's all, it's all relevant, isn't it? I mean, there's so many things that you can do as a business to make money. So I hope today has given you a few inside tips on how you can actually do this to make money. Sometimes just selling products may not be enough. You may need to do other things. Also, you can have a shop on Facebook and things like that. I don't do that. Now, there is a big reason why I don't, and I've said this before, because I want to drive people from my social media to my website. I don't want to be trying to juggle Facebook sales, website sales, sales in all different directions. I want to try and keep the sales, to obviously my store or on my website. And I don't want to be dealing with all the other things. But obviously on Facebook and Instagram, then people get that link, they go back to my site or they Google my site and then they go and buy on there. So generally that's how it is. And I do have a lot of people coming to my site because they just generally want to have a look on my site. Which is fine. I mean, go to lots of sites and have a look. It will give you ideas. And my website has changed so much in the last few years. I finally feel like it's super professional and pink and exactly what I like it. And that is about branding, friends. There's no good having a blue website if your whole theme and vibe is purple. Try and keep it all similar. Try and keep your text similar. And so many other things. And I've also gone to a lot of my packaging and things has changed because my daughter Pearl, she actually does do all my artwork now. So it's original artwork. So that's super exciting, isn't it? And as you go along, you'll actually learn these things. So many things I've learnt. I actually didn't know at the start that you can't just use Canva images, in a commercial setting, that you have to pay to use them. I had no idea of that when I first started. And lots of people have, that have sort of gone along that route and found that out that way as well. So then eventually you do need to go down to the route of, creating your own images. I'm also going to see if my daughter Pearl can create some images that might be like traditional ones like lavender, fruity, and so on, and we will actually put them in the digital part of my actual site. So on Patreon, because on Patreon there is a digital shop, and I've only just started doing that, but maybe I can put it on that, and that way everyone will have the rights to use them. So and we will allow the rights to use them. So maybe that's another alternative. A few people have asked me for that. They won't be super expensive either. So because often if you get someone to draw your own thing, it's about $300 or $400 per drawing. So it won't be anything like that. It might be like $10 a drawing or something. So it'll be very affordable, and then you can use that on your own packaging. But anyway, that's just a thought. That may happen next year because it does take quite a long time to actually create all of those things. And I'm just going to flick another message off the screen. But anyway, I hope that helps everyone. I hope you have an amazing, lovely Christmas. You will see me on Christmas Eve. I will do a bit of a live just to say Happy Christmas in front of my tree, so that you can all see exactly just the inside of my lounge where I actually sit for Christmas. But yeah, so anyway, that's when you'll see me next, as well as a few videos that will be coming out over the festive season and the new year, because lots of people have time off and they can actually watch my videos. Anyway, thank you everyone. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video. Bye.